buds, devotees, beautiful mutants, and other fans of the band Devo. It is I, Devo-Obsesso, and I have a new series of video to present to you. It's called the Devo Archives Dive series. And this is basically where I go into the Devo storage spaces and the tubs of things and the display cases that I have, and I pull out very rare, often one-of-a-kind items to show you. And the way this started was, on a recent trip to Los Angeles, I met up with one Bob Mothersbaugh, Bob 1 of Devo, and he said, "Hey Mike, I've got something for you. Do you want it?" And he explained what it was, and I was like, "Yeah, I want that." So he had it sent to me, and I'm going to end this video with that specific item. But before then, let's get into the first item right now. Okay, everyone, everybody's familiar with Devo's red Energy Dome hat, a trademark of the band since 1980. They've worn them in concerts and airports, sold them to many fans over the years. A very well-known prop in the band's history. Now, I've been really connected to the band and working with their merchandise for many years. I've been around since these things have been made for the last 15, 20 years. They've been made at several different points on the planet since then, namely in North Carolina, about 15 years ago in my home state. So I was able to go to the factory every now and then when the domes were getting made. And one day I went there and I said, "Hey, can you throw a few different pieces of random plastic, different colors, different textures, and see how they look?" And this was one of the domes that they made for me. And check this out. It's yellow, but what the special part of it is it's made of approved official helmet material. This is the thickness and the grade of plastic that like football helmets are made of. You can see how thick it is. It's very thick, very sturdy. It's like hard hat helmet material, maybe even thicker than hard hat, but certainly football helmet approved material here, and there's only one of them. Now, soon after Devo's 2014 Hardcore Devo tour, they released this movie of the event. It's the whole concert, it's some behind the scenes stuff, some bonus footage, and you see there some shots of the show. And yours truly, Devo-Obsesso, is actually in this video. I was in the show, and part of what I did in the show is I came out on stage and I delivered band outfits to the band so they could change into them on stage. And so I would run out with this exact box, and I would have their blue outfits in here, and I would pass them out to the band one by one. If you have this DVD, if you've seen this movie, you've seen me in it. And so I saved this from the tour, and as you can see, it says here, there it is, Hardcore Tour Stage Box, do not discard. So I've had this around since 2014 for whatever reason. And now, related to that tour, we also have, if you guys remember, at certain points in the show, I believe it was the very beginning, the intro of the show, Mark Mothersbaugh would be sitting at his keyboard reading newspapers. And these newspapers would be dated from those times in the 70s when Devo was writing all this hardcore material. And this right here is one of those newspapers that he sat reading at the keyboard during Hardcore Devo's tour. I saved a few of them. Here's like a stack of the papers that he read on stage. He would just pick random pages out of them and read them. And they were all packaged in this Mark's stuff. And so since 2014, I've carried this thing around with me full of Mark's papers. And a bonus little item related to this tour is this Hardcore Devo tour set of lyrics to all the songs, all the bizarre, taboo, really kind of hardcore, literally hardcore Devo songs from the early 70s. This was supposed to be sold on tour. It was pulled from that tour as merch for whatever reason, and then later offered as a bonus premium for those who helped fund the Devo Hardcore movie. So get this if you can. It's really interesting lyrics inside. All right, more tour-related stuff. This album, Devo Live in Seattle 1981, their new traditionalist tour, this came out for Record Store Day in 2012. I had a big part in putting this together. In liner notes here, it mentions how I found this original recording in Bob Casale's closet back in the early 90s and kept it for years before it got released finally in 2012. Now, this isn't the collectible rare thing that I wanted to show, but it is related to that, and it is a mispressing of the album. And I don't know if any of you have ever seen a mispressing quite like this. Now, this is a mispressing of side 1 and 2 of Devo's Live 1981 in Seattle record. Now, as you can see, it's just a hunk, a hockey puck basically, of wax that got drilled and labeled. It's like it was going through the press, it missed the stamping, the entire stamping portion of it, went through the label part of it, and came out as a wrecked biscuit, basically. A hockey puck. But I just think that is so cool. Certainly one of a kind, scarce Devo item. Please enjoy. Next up, a very cool couple of items, very close to my heart, given to me by my dear friends Bob Casale and Lisa Cassidy, his wife. They have both since passed on. They both changed my life in so many ways, but they were kind of intrigued by this whole Devo-Obsesso moniker that I'd come up with. And they often challenged me on that. And they said, oh, you collect Devo? You collect anything? Here's this. Collect this. Daring me to collect it, basically. And here's just a couple of those items. Okay, so I mentioned how my friends Lisa and Bob Casale gave me a lot of weird stuff to collect over the years, just challenging me to collect it. And this was one of those things. And this is Bob Casale's official membership card to the Akron Federation of Musicians, as you can see right here. And yeah, weird, totally weird, but I collected it because he gave it to me. Crazy, huh? And you know, just for shits and giggles here, I'll show you the other side. It's Bob Casale's canceled credit card. He would give me these things all the time. And to top it off, here's one of the funniest things. This is an actual speeding ticket that Bob Casale got in the early 1990s, probably 1993, 94, maybe as early as 91. Full speeding ticket there, signed by Robert Casale, given to me by his wife. And rest in peace, both of you. I collected this stuff, and I still have it, and I will have it forever after Bob and Lisa, so it's safe with me. Okay, you guys, when Lisa Cassidy gave me this, I totally flipped out, and she knew I had to collect it because I am Devo-Obsesso. This is a cassette tape of a band, and they're called the Gospel Truth Singers. Now, the Gospel Truth Singers were a band that Lisa Cassidy's mother was in. A gospel band from Southern California. There's Lisa's mom right there. And as you can see, cassette probably put out in the early 1990s. There's no date on it. But if you'll notice on the credits there, it says the very bottom line, second to bottom line, recording engineer Bob Casale of Devo. Let's get it to focus. Yep, there you go. Bob Casale of Devo. So, that's why I collect this, and thank you, Lisa. Rest in peace. We appreciate these awesome little bizarre gifts for the Devo archives. On to the next one. And last but not least, let's get Bob One to tell you a little bit about this next item I'm going to show you.
I don't know where that suitcase came from. I've never seen it before. I don't know how my name and addresses got on it.
All right, so here's this thing. Looks fairly unremarkable. You know, looks like a suitcase with a bunch of old stickers and crap on it. But as we get closer, oh look, it's Bob Mothersbaugh's name. Oh, Big hole there. And look, if you look on here, it's really hard to see, everybody. But you can see some information on the flight. The last flight that this bag took was January 1983. That's right. It's all still here intact. I'm just giving you an overlook of what this is. And I'm going to have Bob One tell you some details about this particular thing. But let's look inside. There it is. I wonder what kind of action this thing has seen during all those rock and roll fueled tours that Devo did in the 1980s. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have Bob One tell you a little bit more about it.
Yeah, that suitcase was early 80s. Yes, that suitcase. The early 80s I used it, and when we traveled around the world touring with Devo, you can see there's several different addresses. The locks are missing because one day in a hotel room, somehow the combinations changed and I had to chisel the locks out so I could open my suitcase and put on clean underwear.
I didn't know that.
That's about all I remember.
Thank you, Bob. Well, there it is, the first installment of Devo Archives Dive. Hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to also tell you that this rare shirt that I'm wearing right now is a Devo Tour crew shirt, which the crew members on the tour wore, obviously. This is from their 2007 European tour, which of course I was on. This was the shirt I wore on tour. I love it. And just thought I'd throw it in as a bonus on this video. Everybody, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for the likes on the videos. Thank you for commenting on the videos in the comment section. It all helps me a lot. Also, may the rock and roll gods bless you as they blessed me. And don't forget, de-evolution is real.